So FlowFuse is heading to Hannover Messe, the premier industrial automation event in Hannover, Germany. And while the server that we built for Prove It 2026 was a huge success, we wanted to not only miniaturize that deployment, but also make it host a couple interesting technologies. We're talking computer vision, local large language models, and a whole host of other cutting-edge technologies. So in order to do that, we're going to start the process today with the miniaturization of our server build. Hey there, my name is Christopher Sandoval. I'm a developer relations advocate here at FlowFuse. And welcome to the first video in this new series, The Road to Hannover Messe 2026. So for this project, I decided to go with the 10-inch server form factor. Now this is quite a bit smaller than the typical 19-inch form factor, but it still gives us a ton of room for all the pieces that we need to mount inside. Now the best thing about this form factor, besides its size and its portability, is the fact that it feels a lot like building a computer. In fact, if you've ever built your own computer, this process is going to look very similar to that. Now, when you're building in a small form factor like this, you really have to take heat into consideration. We have a bunch of servers that are going to be going into this rack in addition to some network equipment, and while none of them really run hot, they're still all generating heat, and that cumulative heat can be a problem. For that reason, we're going to leave a lot of this case open, and all of the systems that we can direct to turn their fans on maximum are going to be directed to do so. Now this case has a ton of little features, and one of them is that you can take off these panels to get access to little hiding spots for additional cord management. In this case, we're taking the cords for our Mac Minis and we're just tucking them underneath the power supply to get them out of the way so that we can route through the side channels. With this panel back on, you don't even know the cords are there. Now we're going to move to our on-logic devices. Now these are going to have their own FlowFuse instances, but we're principally going to be using them to drive the displays when we do trade shows and other demonstrations. Offloading this from many other resources is going to give us a dedicated way to show off some really cool stuff. The on-logic devices have their own power bricks, but the cords that they come with are pretty long. So we're going to use this hiding spot to put those cords in their own little area before we route them down to the units below. Beyond making the build look much cleaner, this is also going to improve our thermals by making sure that we don't have any mass in the center of the unit generating or transferring heat. So with that in place, let's put some cord management straps around the cords themselves and then top the unit back with its lid and with the handles once more. Now for this build, we're going to be deploying two 3.2 GHz i7 Mac Minis. One of the machines is equipped with 32 GB of RAM and is going to host most of our FlowFuse instances and a couple additional services. The other machine is going to host all of our local LLM and AI processing and is equipped with 64 GB of DDR4 RAM. It's a much beefier machine, which makes sense for what we're trying to do with it. Now when it comes to networking for this build, we're actually maxed out. While this patch panel does have 12 keystones that we could connect to, the switch we're using only has 8. The good news is that 8 is exactly how many we need. If we reserve one of these ports for the network ingress and then 2 of them for the 2 Mac Mini servers, that leaves us 3 connections for our on-logic devices and then an additional 2 connections for our Groove Rios. With that in mind, let's start connecting all of our systems to our network. First, let's connect both of the Mac Minis, and then we'll connect both the I/O as well as the networking for our on-logic devices. And finally, we can start working on our patch panel to our network switch connections. Now the first port of this patch panel is going to be our network ingress. So we're going to be taking the Ethernet that's provided from whatever system we're tying into and routing that to the back of the machine to pass forward into the switch itself. From here, we're just simply giving every device its own port and letting the traffic be broadcast to all devices. Now, if we had a lot of devices, I would be concerned about things like network congestion or traffic collision. But given that we only have a handful of devices here and we're using FlowFuse as the principal system by which we're routing that traffic, I'm actually not that concerned. Our system can handle everything that we're throwing at it and can route the traffic perfect for our particular demo. And here we go, this is the first startup. You'll love to hear it. So we have officially completed the first step on the road to Hannover 2026. With the server completely built, we can start deploying our virtualized infrastructure. I've already spun up some Docker instances and local services, but that will be our focus for the next video. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider giving us a like, comment, or subscribe. If you like this sort of content, check out the links in the description below to look at our Road to Prove It 2026 video playlist. And if this piqued your interest in FlowFuse, head on over to flowfuse.com to start your free 14-day trial. This has been Christopher Sandoval. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.